got married June 17th.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Open your eyes and look at me.
And where did you do it?
In Nyack at the Grace Episcopal Church.
It's good to see the morning light in your eyes.
So you had a commitment ceremony, really?
Yeah.
Everything now is so much better. Promise me that we'll stay together forever. Forever.
We should probably talk a little bit about what rights and benefits you received as a result of that commitment ceremony. Nothing.
Rights, I just assume that I have married rights, but I never thought about it. Never really thought about what rights I had because it was something like a God-given right. It just came to me.
A lot of people ask me, what's so gay about money? Why do you focus on the gay issues related to money? And the answer is, there's nothing gay about money if you're single, but everything if you're in a partnership. There are a couple things you need to understand. One is that even though you see yourself as a couple, the federal government sees you as two business partners, really. You see yourself as next of kin. You're each other's beloved. But right now, the law sees you as business partners. And if you don't do certain things, nothing that you expect to happen will happen correctly. Do you have a will?
No.
No, we don't.
So New York State has one for you. Whatever is not named, it doesn't have a beneficiary, will go to your parents if they're alive. And if they're not alive, it would be your siblings, and on down the family tree. But it will never, ever include each other. So what kind of things do you guys own? Do you own an apartment? Do you happen to know how you have it titled?
There was some clause that if something were to happen to either one of us, the other one would get
the apartment.
Yeah.
That's called joint tenants with right of survivorship.
Yes, that's what we have. Yeah.
There's joint tenants in common, and there's joint tenants with right of survivorship. If you were to have bought this apartment last year, which you did, and this year, as you're walking out of my office, you get hit by the Fifth Avenue bus. Let's say that you put all the money into it and you were going along for the ride. Let's say you got hit by the bus. You would have to pay estate tax on the entire apartment, even though it was all your money. The biggest distinction between you and a federally recognized married couple is that they're considered one economic unit. There's no distinction between spouses. Your business partners, they're one unit.
Do you know if we were married and I gave you a gift, you would have to pay taxes? If you dumped Suzanne and married me, you gave me a gift instead of Suzanne, I could pay taxes on it.
Because I wouldn't give you any gifts.
Then you would give me
Then you'd be just like Susanna.
If David gives me a gift, do I pay taxes?
And then when you put
Like sales tax?
To business partners, your business partners, they're one unit.
No.
Everything that happens between you two economically needs to be taxed. So, what about getting hit by that Fifth Avenue bus and you're not dead?
If I were in a coma, yeah.
This is before you got into the coma.
What paper would he have would I have to fill out?
Yes.
There are a couple of documents that you're going to need. The healthcare proxy. Nowadays, if you have a healthcare proxy that doesn't have what they call HIPAA language in it, the doctors aren't going to be able to even talk to you about your partner's condition.
HIPAA language?
HIPAA, it's a...
What, HIPAA?
Not for that.
HIPAA's not for that. HIPAA's
HIPAA is for like medical records to be
to
given
be
to the.
sent to.
They will say, sorry, we can't tell you how Myra is because she didn't sign a HIPAA permission to allow you to understand what's going on. And then, of course, most healthcare proxies might have in it, but sometimes it's a separate document, living will language. And there's another document that you need for the same situation, and that's called a legal power of attorney.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what's that.
I don't know about forms. I just know that we don't have to fill out much forms or any forms.
And let's say you're in this coma for 6 months. Well, somebody needs to pay your taxes. Somebody needs to pay your bills. Somebody needs to call the bank on your behalf, or to to negotiate with the insurance companies. There's a service called DocuBank, and they will give you something that looks like a credit card that you carry in your wallet. And if you ever go into the hospital, they will have stored on record all of your documents. What about IRAs? Do you have any retirement accounts?
Yes.
And have you named each other as the beneficiary of these accounts?
Well, I believe yes, I think we have. I'm not sure.
Imagine if your ex-partner became the beneficiary of your IRA and you couldn't pay the mortgage because you didn't have enough money. Do you guys have any children, or do you plan to have any children?
Yes, plan to.
So there are hoops you're going to have to jump through. Two social workers will come in and parent you, so you'll have to get a home study done before you consider your plans for religion and what religion you want to raise, and that's one of the standard questions. So what are the solutions? We can buy insurance. We can make sure to have extra liquidity. We can move out of the United States. I'm kidding. That was a bad joke. It is just by moving out of the United States. Moving out of the United States does not obviate your responsibility to estate taxes. What other questions do you guys have?
Well, how would we start the process of getting all these papers?
Let's see what it is that's on your list here.
The JTROS.
Joint tenants with the right of survivorship. You're going to check your deed and make sure that that's on your
We
deed.
do have that. Healthcare proxy.
Excellent.
With the HIPAA language.
Exactly.
The legal power of attorneys. Me for her, her for me.
Correct.
The living will.
Exactly.
We're going to go to docubank.com.
Right.
Register for the ID card that will link to all the legal
Paperwork.
documents.
All the paperwork.
And then I just made a note that I also want to look into life insurance and
The
look at
IRA
naming each other for the
beneficiary.
IRS,
Right, I
yeah.
didn't name that right.
Even though we can create these legal documents, there is nothing that is going to give you all the rights that you would have if you had the ability to get married. Everything that's really meaningful, everything that's a big tax or a big right, goes back to the federal government. And until we get federal rights, it's really an economic justice issue. There is actually one benefit to not being legally, federally recognized as married, and that is that your mortgage deduction, if you make more than Myra does this year, you can take more of the deduction. You can, from year to year, switch off who takes more, both of you.
Wow, this was very good and very informative.
Yeah.
The only way to make you understand that there's nothing better than being with you, holding you, showing you in every way that I mean what I say. So take the time to see that I'm in love with you.